Evening, everyone. Once again, welcome. We're going to give some time to let a few more people in from the waiting room. Good evening, everyone. Krista, if you'd like to go ahead and get started, I will begin to share the PowerPoint. I will share my screen and I will follow along on my end.
Thank you so much, Norman. Good evening. And on behalf of Miami-Dade County Council, PTA-PTSA, we'd like to welcome you to the College No Debt workshop, where we're working with our partners over at EdFed, the Educational Federal Credit Union, and we're proud to partner and sponsor this opportunity for parents to hear from Sally Mae representatives who are going to talk about student loan opportunities, scholarships, and ways that you can help your children attend college in more of a debt-free manner. So I'm going to turn it over to our partners with Sally Mae, Carrie Beckford, and Kelly Savoy. Did I get it? All right,
Yep.
Kelly, thank you so much. All right, Carrie, take it away.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having us join you tonight. Kelly and I are excited to be here. So we're going to walk you through our presentation. Again, it's really focusing on scholarships and finding any free money that's out there for college. So just so my bandwidth doesn't stop, we're going to stop our video here and we'll come back on for Q&A. But let's get started. So as I mentioned, we're going to look at scholarships. On the next slide, just some topics about what we'll be learning this evening. So we're going to be looking and discussing college costs and how scholarships may help you with those costs. We'll review some scholarship resources that are out there and available to you. Learn about the importance of scholarship search engines. Look at ways to create a winning scholarship essay, and also discuss some tips on applying for scholarships. So let's take a look at the next slide at college costs and how scholarships may actually help. On slide 4, so as we know, attending college comes with a cost. So this slide really gives you an average of college costs. So we're starting on the left here, looking at the 2-year public college, which is around $18,550. The 4-year public, which is around $26,820. 4-year private at $54,880,000. And a 4-year public college or university is coming in at $43,280. So we know that the costs for college are high, and these are 2020 averages. So let's start thinking about these as we look at different ways that we can actually fund these. So every year, Sallie Mae works with a leading global market research firm, IPOS, to conduct our How America Pays for College research study. The study provides valuable data surrounding the higher education segment. The objective of the study is to watch the trends and behaviors towards higher education over time and to ensure that families still continue to find a value in higher education. As in past years, the value in higher education has been unwavering for families. So 2020's How America Pays study found, on average, that families spent around $30,000 on college this past academic year. This amount is 14% higher than the previous academic year. Parents covered the lion's share of the cost, right at 52%. Parent income and savings covered 44%, and parent borrowing covered 8%, or roughly $2,500. Across all sources of funding, compared to the previous year, we observed the largest increase in contributions from parent income and savings. This category covered 30% of cost in 2018-2019 and 44% of the cost in 2019-2020. That translates to parents contributing about $5,300 more this year from income and savings, while amounts contributed from parent borrowing remained consistent year over year. Free financial aid, scholarships, and grants covered 25% of the cost. Scholarships covered 15% and grants covered 10%. While the average amount covered by scholarships and grants decreased only slightly, the portion of costs covered by these funding sources decreased from 31% in 2018 to 2019 to 25% this year. As you can see, there is an interplay between the proportion of education costs covered by scholarships and grants and parent income and savings. Student contributions covered 21% of the cost, with students contributing about $4,000 from borrowed funds and $2,000 from student income savings. Student borrowing amount and the proportion of the total cost it covers remains consistent year over year. Finally, funds from relatives and friends covered 1%, or roughly about $436 on average. So on the next slide, let's take a look at scholarship money and where it comes from. 58% of families use scholarships in academic year 2019-2020. Most of that scholarship money is awarded as a result of a financial aid process defined by the college and/or the government. among families who said they used scholarships, 64% received them from the college with an average amount just under $10,000. 29% received them from the state with an average amount of just shy of $5,000. Outside of the formal financial aid application process, however, students may be eligible for scholarships from community groups, businesses, or nonprofits. 27% of scholarship users reported obtaining one from a community-based source with an average amount of $2,000. So Kelly is going to now talk to you a little bit about a variety of resources that are available for you to find scholarships.
If we can go ahead and go to the next page, and you can go ahead and go on. Yeah, so why are we here talking to you about scholarships? Well, scholarships is that free money, the money that does not have to be paid back. So we absolutely want to maximize, I love that word free, and we need to maximize the utilization of that free money. When do you apply for scholarships? The optimal time to apply for scholarships, if we have any juniors on the line, you're heading into summer, this is your optimal time. Really, if you are a junior heading into your senior year, if you are a parent of a junior, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to, apply to 3 to 5 scholarships over each week over the summer. And it's a great challenge because when you are at this time next year, you will be pleasantly surprised and have received all of these scholarships. If you are a senior and you're heading to college next year, it is not too late. There are still scholarships out there. And again, you want to make sure that you're maximizing those. You want to be looking on, making sure that you're checking the deadlines when the due dates are. All scholarships do have a deadline. There is a good amount of them that generally close in the February timeframe and then are awarded in the March and April, but there are many more outside of that as well. So you do want to do that. And this is one of those things that you want to apply for each and every year. Every year that you are pursuing higher education, you do want to apply for scholarships, just like that little FAFSA form that you're completing. That form, along with scholarships, you want to complete each and every year to make sure that you are maximizing the utilization of that free money, the money that does not have to be paid back. You do, when you're applying for scholarships, you do want to make sure that you are reviewing the requirements, the deadlines, the dates, exactly what do they require. Some may require that essay, and I know that's a question that I get asked a lot. Yes, some of them do require essays, but not all of them do. Don't let an essay steer you away. Take this opportunity. If you're still in high school and going to be in high school next year, take this time to write out a couple short essays. Do one on leadership, do one on community service, do one on something that you've had to overcome, and work with your English teachers or somebody who's really good in English and have them proofread those. Those are many of the common prompts that you'll see on with scholarships, and then you can have that person work with you to refine those so that you have those available for these scholarships that are out there. Some of them have videos, so there's a lot of different things that you can, a lot of different scholarships and a lot of different requirements. Do read those details and do pay attention to the deadline date. We can go to the next one. So scholarships are awarded for many, many reasons. Many people, it's pretty commonly known that they are highly for academic achievements, but that is not the only reason scholarships are awarded. There are scholarships for financial need, community involvement, organizations, sports. If you play a specific instrument, there's a scholarship for that. Leadership, school activities, many of the clubs that you're affiliated with, your church might have some scholarships, as well as talk to your parents, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. Who does your grandfather go and have coffee with every Tuesday? you'd be surprised, it might be a club, and that club probably has a scholarship. And I tell you that, talk to them, because that club very well has a local scholarship, as well as, depending on the type of club it is, it might have a national scholarship. So many of your organizations, your employment, your fast food restaurants, some of them have local as well as national scholarships. So look small, but look big as well. And don't, talk to everybody, because again, this is free money, does not have to be paid back. Everything that every penny that you can get from this should be utilized so that you reduce the cost that has to come out of pocket. We can go to the next page, please. So many of the resources, again, local and community-based scholarships, your federal and state agencies, your college-specific scholarships. Carrie shared some examples of many of these. And what research has shown is that, and this is one thing that when you're looking into schools, you do want to look at that school and look to see what are the qualifications for any scholarships that they have available. What do I need to meet those qualifications? So even in as much as your freshman year, take that as a challenge. Start looking at colleges, look at what they're offering, look at what their scholarship opportunities are, and that can be something to drive you and keep you challenged during your high school years as well. But know what those requirements are, but don't just rely on what's being provided from the college, because there's a lot more money out there that is available. Again, your religious organizations, your employers. I know many employers will have scholarships if the employee is going back to school, as well as if that employee has children that are going to school. So make sure that your parents are checking with their employers to see if there are any opportunities within that. Libraries are famously known to have scholarship available, as well as your private organizations and online search engines. I don't want to overlook this, and we are going to talk a little bit about these online search engines, because the great thing about these search engines are they make the world a little bit smaller. And so what is great about the search engines is the companies, and Sally Mae has one, and we're going to show you this, but the great thing about this is the scholarships within these search engines, the scholarships have already been vetted. So we know that you putting your information out there, it's a legitimate source, people do get the money, and you can feel comfortable in putting your information out there, versus if I just go out and Google things, you want to be careful and make sure that you're going and putting your information in a reputable place. Please know, applying for scholarships, you should never have to give your social security number, as well as you should never pay. You will never pay to do a scholarship. You're getting free money. You don't pay for that, and you shouldn't have to ever they shouldn't ever ask for your scholarship, your social security number. You can go to the next page, please. Carrie, did you want to take this, or you want me to go?
Sure. Yep, I can go on. So scholarship search engines, as Kelly mentioned, there are a lot of engines out there for you to leverage.
Sally Mae does have a scholarship search engine that is available for you to access. This is for both undergraduate and graduate students. And we also have a scholarship search tool that EdFed has on their website as well. This is a wonderful tool for you to leverage. This does give you over $18 billion of scholarships available to you. And it's roughly about 3.5 million scholarships for you to search for. The key here is when you're looking at your setting up your profile, you want to make sure it's up to date. So you want to make sure you have current test scores, your GPA is updated, any activities that you're doing. So any clubs that you're a part of, any organizations, and also something that's really important is community service and volunteer activities. You want to make sure you account for all of these things in your profile so that when we're searching, they can identify you. This is not just your junior or senior year in high school. Update this as soon as you have an opportunity, and continue to update it, especially if you change your major, as I know many in my family have done. So there are a variety of search engines available. We did mention the Sallie Mae search tool and the EdFed search tool. There's also FastWeb, which will give you access to 1.5 million scholarships. Again, over $3 billion out there. Big Future is another good search engine for you to leverage as well. We also have the QR code here. This is a QR code that will take you to the EdFed webpage, where you can access their search tool in addition to learn about private student loans offered by them.
And if I can just say, if you're not familiar with QR codes, just hold your phone up to that and it will prompt it, it'll bring it up for you. But then you also have the link there if you're viewing this on your cell phone.
Thank you. We can look at the next slide. So what to look for in a scholarship search engine? In your search for scholarships, you'll find search engines that are going to help you narrow your search and really guide you to the perfect scholarship based on your profile. As I mentioned on the previous slide,
That's why it's so important to keep everything up to date. Remember, the tool should be free. You don't ever want to pay for any scholarship applications or to pay for someone to search specific scholarships for you. Everything should be free. Validating scholarships ensures current and up-to-date opportunities. Calendar features to help you know what deadline dates are first and to get your application plan and timeline in place. Ratings are provided by previous applicants and recipients on these tools, much like product reviews when shopping on Amazon or something like that online. Take advice to all of those who have gone before you. Learn something from them. You're not the first one who's going to be trying to do this. You'll also be receiving a lot of different email alerts. These are going to be on potential scholarship matches for you to look at. Again, staying on top of your profile and making sure it's updated, saving it is really, really key. If you want to use your mobile phone for shopping, why not use it for scholarships? Take advantage of it. It's always on hand and it's very accessible for you to find free money out there to help you with your education expenses. On the next slide, let's take a look at what the EdFed scholarship search tool looks like. This is, again, powered by the Sallie Mae scholarship search tool. But with this, students can register for free. Just enter your interest, activities, groups, and get matched with over 3.5 million scholarships. So there's a lot of free money out there for you to leverage. This search tool really, again, is going to help you define and create a detailed profile so that we can let us do the work for you. We can help you find and be matched with more scholarships. The more detailed, the better. This way we can continue to broaden that scope and look for, different scholarships that might suit you. Again, the scholarship search tool that EdFed has, powered by Sallie Mae. It'll save and store all your detailed profile information in here for future reference, so you don't need to reapply. Other scholarship search engines out there do require you to fill out a new profile every time you visit. So we understand this can be frustrating, especially as busy as you are, the college-bound student. Again, always looking for free money. This tool is a great tool for you. You just register once and it's saved for you. The next slide is, going to continue showing you some of these other features. You can take control of what you want to see and when you want to be notified. Personalize your account. This way we only will notify you when something comes up that you may be interested in. You can also share these over social media with friends. So the tool is very robust. Again, just make sure you put as much information in here as you possibly can. Keep it up to date. And really the value add here is you register everything one time, you can customize your alerts and really take control of free money that is going to be out there that might match up with you. Kelly, I think we're going to look at writing these winning scholarship essays.
Yes.
Slide
Yeah.
17.
This fun part, the part that everybody loves, the essays, right?
Yes.
Don't be turned away because, whether it's $500 or $5,000, that's a lot of money. And again, it's the free money. So in putting together your scholarship essay, start the process early. Again, I mentioned if you have a student that's still in high school, or you are a student that's still in high school, start it in high school. I've actually talked with several high school teachers that they've actually done this as an assignment, and we're very thankful to do that because they love to have to be able to work with the students, to be able to develop something that they can see an end result and that they can use going forward. So don't turn away that opportunity, and start it early. Make sure that you understand what they are asking for you in that scholarship. So what really are the requirements? Because you can write the best scholarship essay ever, but if you're not asking what they are requesting, if you're not answering what they're requesting for it to be about, the mission and the purpose of that scholarship, then you're reducing your chances of actually winning that scholarship. So make sure that you are addressing what they are asking you to address and the mission and purpose of the essay that they're asking for there. Follow the instructions, create an outline, organize your thoughts, put that all together to get yourself going. Don't be afraid to get personal, because if they can connect to you personally, that's even that much stronger. Ask for advice and feedback. If I were to write an essay, I can read it 3 times and I'm going to read it the way that I wrote it. So do ask somebody else to read that for you, because even if I read it out loud to them, many times I'm going to read it the way that I wrote it. So make sure that you're asking for advice and feedback and having them spell check it, neatness, grammar, proofread, proofread, proofread. And be persistent. Don't give up. I talk to a lot of students, they're like, I sent in 2 and I didn't win any. Well, there's a lot of people out there, and especially if you go for those if you just go for those big national ones, there's a lot of people out there that are going for those. So broaden your spectrum and look locally, as well as using the search engines. The great things about the search engines are it makes the world a lot smaller, and you build that profile about yourself, it goes out, it's constantly searching that database, and it will send you information and put that at your fingertips so that you can continue to have additional opportunities presented to you. You can go to the next page, please. So let's talk about tips on scholarship application success. Be organized, be authentic. Don't make something up. Really do be authentic. If you try to make something up, it's going to come through in there. Know the requirements, include strong recommendations. And many people will ask, I get a lot of questions, well, who makes a good recommendation? Who makes a strong recommendation? Well, that's somebody who knows you, whether that be a teacher, a coach, a mentor, an employer. Those are all good, strong recommendations, somebody that knows you. Many of your counselors, because of the caseload that they have, you might feel like they don't know you, but really that's why they many times will ask you to put together a brag sheet so that they can get to know you and therefore write that strong recommendation and make sure that they are hitting on everything that they need to hit on to make sure that they're supporting you as best they can. So they are a good resource, but don't limit it just to your counselors. Look at, if you've had a strong relationship with a teacher, a coach, anybody else, don't hesitate to utilize them. All of those together, being organized, being authentic, speaking to the requirements, the strong recommendations will create a lasting impression. And that is what is going to get you the win. Go ahead to the next one. Again, that deadline thing, make sure that we're paying attention to the deadlines. They do mean something. They do not accept them after the point. List your important accomplishments. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, don't be embarrassed, list them all. Because you've done it, you should be shouting about it. Showcase your honors and awards, any honors that you've had. Again, these are yours to brag about yourself. Don't rule out smaller scholarships. Those smaller scholarships, that can be the book, that can be the laptop that you need. Those smaller scholarships add up, and however much or little it is, it's free and it will cover a cost. And again, start applying. We do have here start applying in your junior year. You can apply for scholarships earlier on if you were to win any of them. They would be put into a trust fund for you, but the latest you should start applying is in your junior year of high school. And again, a optimal time is that summer between your junior and senior year. Give yourself that challenge and say, I'm going to apply for 3 to 5 scholarships each week over summer vacation. That way, when you get back for your senior year, you are in full swing. You can be focused on getting those college applications done and getting that schoolwork done, and be sitting back looking for those scholarships wins to come in. Go to the next page, please. So you win a scholarship. What happens then? So first of all, how do you get the money? The money is generally sent to the college of choice. Once you're notified that you have won the money, one of the things they'll ask is, have you chosen a college and where would you like us to send that? You do need, generally they are sent directly to the college of your choice. In some instances, they will send it directly to you for you to then forward on to the college of choice. But you do need to let that college know that you have received this scholarship money. And that's another thing, that when you're talking to colleges, you do want to talk to them about and ask the question, how are scholarships going to affect my financial aid? Generally, what happens is a school is going to say to you, okay, this is what you're eligible for in institutional aid, your institutional scholarships, and any federal aid. So if you bring in that many scholarships, you can never go over the cost of attendance. So they're going to allow you to use those scholarships up to the cost of attendance. If you start getting over that cost of attendance, that's when they'll have to start adjusting some of the other financial aid. And so you do want to have that conversation with them and ask about that. The other thing that you do want to find out in a scholarship is you want to make sure that, and this should be within the requirements of the scholarship, within the eligibility, make sure you understand, is this scholarship renewable each year? And if it is renewable, what do I have to do to qualify each year? So some of your state scholarships, as well as some of your institutional scholarships, the scholarships that you get from your colleges, those are renewable, but you have to meet like a minimum GPA requirement, or you might have an application with one of those. So make sure that you know about those so that you can make sure that you meet those requirements, because you're counting on that. If you knew going in that this is a renewable scholarship each year, you're counting on that for each year, and you want to make sure that you continue with those requirements. So do make sure that you're checking out that. You can go to and with that, we've given you a lot of information. We do want to make sure that you are maximizing that free money. So scholarships are very important, and it's a great time to be applying for them. Come October, you'll want to also make sure that you're doing the FAFSA form, the free application for federal student aid. And both of those together will make sure that you are maximizing your utilization of free money. And with that, thank you very much. Any questions? I see Ms. West has put in that you may qualify for scholarships even if you don't meet the profile. And so she shared that she had received a $1,000 scholarship from the Jewish Women's Club, although she is a Christian. So that's a good point to add in there. don't negate yourself because you think that you don't meet the requirements. Make sure that you read those and know what those requirements are. Thank you for sharing.
And that's a great point. And also, Kelly, I do want to reemphasize the fact of knowing if you do need to, what you need to do to continue your scholarship, because there's nothing like earning that scholarship and just letting it go. So that's really key. That's another really good key point.
Yes.
Other questions? Adeline?
Everybody's out finding free money, right? The best words. Our best word.
Best word, yes.
Great. Good.
All right, Krista, I guess we'll turn it back over to you then. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, wow, you all did an amazing job. Thank you so much, Carrie and Kelly, for providing such thought-provoking information that's going to be beneficial to the parents and their students. As a mother of 3 daughters, I was sitting here nodding my head the whole time going, yes, yes, yes. You know, especially when you were talking about read the essay and then read it again and then have somebody else read it, because I mean, even, you know, outside of just the collegiate application process, just at work, you read what you know, like you see what it's supposed to say. And it's not always what's actually written there. And I find myself having to do that as well. And you have to say the words out loud so that you ensure that you're actually reading what you see. So you all gave some amazing tips to the parents. And, you know, if we can, Normie, if you can just put the slide that has the website on how they can access the scholarship tool, the EdFed student loans area, because outside of, and I know we really didn't talk about it because this was not the forum for it, but also, you know, on the area where you can, the EdFed website, where you can look at the scholarships. Also on that website are student loan options. You know, Sally Mae, they've talked about the scholarship opportunities that are there, but they are our friend as it relates to student loans. As you're preparing for college and you're looking for opportunities, they should be the first place that you go. On that EdFed loans student page has all of the information regarding our partnership with Sally Mae. We encourage you to click that because they have representatives that will be there to assist you. So again, Sandra, thank you so much. On behalf of Miami-Dade County Council of PTA-PTSA, thank you so much for partnering with EdFed and allowing us to have our representatives from Sally Mae on tonight. I believe they gave a plethora of information that's going to benefit those that attended. For those that missed it, you know, we will make sure that, you know, maybe we can have a follow-up email from the county council that has these links and this information there so that parents can then still access the tools that are available to them.
Absolutely. We will send out a follow-up to everyone registered, Krista.
Excellent. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all coming this evening. Sandra, if you want to close us out, or Normie, again, parents, there's a jot form in the chat. If you or your student, well, I guess if your student needs community service hours, we ask that you please complete that jot form so that the county council can provide that information to the students.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you got some great information here. I know I will be looking at the recording and finding out myself because I want to get my child back in college. So thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Good
All right,
evening.
good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Patricia, stay on for a second.
Yes,
And then
ma'am.
Sandra, if you would send me the link when you have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
All right, have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, Patricia, am I still hosting you next week on the 26th?
No, we were gonna host. You're gonna
Okay.
come, right?
Yeah, just send me the links then.
Yeah, well, we were waiting for, I think the nominating committee is gonna send out the slate and then we're gonna send the registration. I had a few questions for you. I don't wanna take your time, so whenever you have a minute.
I'll give you a ring. I'm in another meeting.
Okay, I wanted to ask, do you know if the student loans goes with the because my son is actually applying for, goes in the EFC?
Sorry, I had to check in on another meeting.
Sorry. Do you know if the student loans goes against your EFC?
Yes, that is one of the things, is that every scholarship you get could reduce what you get from the
Yeah, the expensive
package, the
contribution.
financial
Yeah.
aid package.
Yeah, all right. Okay, perfect. Thank
So-
you.
So yeah, it's a balancing act.
I know. Crazy. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Have a nice evening.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Patricia. Normie, I'll talk to you later.